Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a good week of preparation, and excited about the next opportunity. As I mentioned on Monday, it was good to get to work this week and trying to iron out some things and get some things fixed up and improve and get ready to go on the road and play a SEC East game.
What does having Jordan back do for your defense?
Yeah, it's good to get Jordan back, and you know, he brings experience, brings another pass rusher, and another body to chase around a very good quarterback. So you know, we need all hands on deck, and really glad that he's back and cleared to play.
Does that mean you have clarity on any of the other stuff yet? Or?
I do not. It means we cleared one hurdle and trying to continue to go over some other hurdles.
Mark, are you happy with what you saw out of Lavelle in practice this week?
I am. Yeah, thought Cavassier and Lavelle both looked good and did some good things, and they'll be ready to go.
How well has Kenneth adjusted to that left tackle position?
He's done a good job. You could see the experience and you know, the comfort level with him and Jagger on that side. They worked hard, and he's excited about the opportunity. He knows it's a real challenge, and it's different for him, but he's willing to do what it takes.
I neglected to ask you the how well do you know the other coach question the other day. So how well do you know Billy Napier?
Yeah, I don't know Coach very well. You know, we haven't crossed paths much, you know, really at all, unless maybe when he was an assistant, but I didn't know him or talk to him much. So I got to know him a bit at this last, you know, at the last meetings where we had a couple days, and just seems like a really good guy, good coach, and obviously his history. He's had a lot of success and done a lot of good things, and so you could tell he's a heck of a coach.
Mark, we all know how you feel about SEC competition. Every time you talk about it, you kind of slobber all over yourself. But can you imagine how?
I didn't notice that, John.
I didn't know that. Speak for yourself, buddy.
Can you characterize? How can you characterize any SEC team?
You
as
like
soft?
talking for me. Why don't you get up here?
But how can you characterize any SEC team as soft?
I can't worry about that. I promise you this: we don't need any motivation to get ready to go play football. So
This
Mark,
is 3 OCs in 3 years. Communication issues. I didn't hear any quips or glitches on that in terms of Rich and how he was handling things. Were you happy with the way things went communication wise on?
yeah, we were clean on the pre-snap communication. Well, you know, with getting plays in and things of that nature and being on time. We've worked on that and have a play clock every day, and so that was relatively clean. There was a few that were close, and then I should have called one. I was right there. I was in the moment with calling the timeout or not. I probably should have. And but yeah, it was clean. But now communication on the field can be better with our players, and it will be, you know, as they continue to play with each other and get to know each other and play next to each other. We'll continue to improve in that area.
Mark, how much, like Kenneth getting a little bit of experience out there last season at tackle and spots and in the bowl game, kind of prepare him to be able to shift over?
It'll definitely help. I mean, he felt that, and you know, we played a really good Iowa team that had some good rushers, and so you know, he got a feel for it, and he's older and wiser and worked at it, and so it should definitely help.
The other day or last week, they took the first step towards having a window for the transfer portal, having dates. Were you in favor of that? Do you like that?
Yeah, I think everybody was in agreement, so we could just at least have some idea of what's going on. I think everybody can understand that this is a good thing, but it also puts some stress on the roster and managing your 85. So you know, maybe this could help in certain ways.
Mark, you've taken some teams of Florida that have struggled, and you've taken teams that have won and played well. Obviously, players make a difference, but is there an overarching theme that it takes to be successful in the Swamp?
Well, you know, the Swamp or many other SEC programs, as John will point out, you know, they're tough environments. I mean, there's a lot of people there, and it's loud. So any road game, you have to concentrate and work on the communication and the pre-snap and all those things, and so you can't let it affect you. Obviously, it's going to affect you some, but you just can't have it affect you negatively time and time again.
I know y'all have been doing things like funneling in sound, different things like that. You was talking about the environment last question. How prepared and how confident are you in those young freshmen that are going to have to step up in that?
Sorry, I spilled on somebody here. You know, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I can only prepare them, you know, and what's going to happen in the future, I can't tell. I believe in their training and what they've done to this point, but they do have to go play.
All the time we heard Will kind of wanted to dial it back in terms of running the ball, and yet one of the first series you see him kind of try to hurdle those opponents. What went through your mind in that, and do you think we'll see him more in part of the running game?
I mean, Will's going to do what he has to do, and you know, at some point, you know, he's trained really hard, and you know, he's a more experienced player than he was a year ago. But Will's still going to be Will, and we want him to be that. You know, I want him to be who he is, and obviously, I want him to protect himself, and you know, minimize the risk as much as he can. But he's going to go play ball and do what he has to do to win games.
Mark, when you have guys like Varion and Tavion doing what they did in the first game, does that elevate the other 10 guys that are on those units to say, hey, if we really dial in and do our thing, something special could happen?
It does. I think it just their presence and going out and having some success and doing what they do. We're getting really good competition in that room, and all the guys are getting better. And we have some really good players that aren't getting talked about much, but they're getting better and better in that receiver room in particular. And so you know, they just got to put their head down and work. And eventually, you're going to get your opportunity. And how you're going to play, you know, when you get that opportunity.
I meant to ask Monday, but were there some guys on Marion's return that made some things?
There were. Luke had a really good. Andrew Phillips had a really good block.
Dingle.
And Dingle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brad said yesterday there was so much.
Dingle, I think.
Dingle,
Yeah,
yeah.
Justice. Yep.
Brad said yesterday there was so much emphasis on Richardson, and yet there were other parts of the Florida offense that really stood out to him. He mentioned offensive line, the running game. What are some of those challenges that you think will be
I said
facing?
the same thing Monday. You know, I felt like their backs run really hard and they're physical. And their O-line was, you know, I mentioned them. I singled them out on Monday as well. I thought they were really a big, strong presence.
Mark, are you in the political endorsement business these days?
I retweeted a very good friend of mine. Kelly Kraft and Joe have been nothing but good to me for my whole time.